Hello, myself Sunil R Nair, and here basically we are discussing about the currencies handles basically. Currencies handles which all currencies basically. So that basically topic only we are discussing. So just see basically how the currencies basically are going to connect to this example basically. Now basically the thing basically has reached to this level that basically 3,50,000 objects are there. We had tracked that also basically, and each and everything basically has tracked, and then the 1,000 buildings is basically repaired. So he basically done this experiment in Mumbai, and like this basically the experiment got successfully, and then basically he tracked each and every buildings across the India basically. That formula also basically work. There also basically lots of conflict was happening basically. So he told that basically your entire basically India was getting conflict to certain level of iron basically. Then basically they changed the iron formula also basically according to the world basically data. Then basically the water basically was not attracting to the seawater, but that basically taken time basically. It's not like that basically 1 or 2 day basically, in 1 or 2 basically day basically the things basically change. That's why basically one of the person basically told that basically the construction industry is the most dangerous industry basically in this world basically. It can finish the entire city also. Few set of buildings here basically it was 1,000 building in the Mumbai city, right? It basically, if this was not tracked, then basically entire Mumbai might be underwater basically. So same way basically in Vadodara city also basically the lava blast can attract basically. In Vadodara city basically there is the Pavagad mountain basically, which basically contains the lava data basically. Because long before more than basically I think 5-6 thousand years before basically the lava blast has happened, and the entire city was under the lava basically, entire Vadodara city basically. That is basically long before basically. So that thing basically has happened basically long before. So it might possible that basically in future also basically this type of thing basically might happen. So that's why they contacted to the sand department basically, that is the lava department. They told that basically which type of lava basically can attract basically. Just give that data basically, so that basically we will not prepare that kind of construction data basically. Then it, because construction data is only basically the main data basically, which is 100% going to attract, and that is basically created from set of blood cells. That is the basically the blood groups basically. So just basically that's why basically we have created the blood groups according to the attraction object only basically. That is the, here basically the world will mostly will get end, that is through earthquakes, another is sea water, and third basically might be disease basically. But disease basically that is very rare will happen, because world basically health organization basically say that we are basically prepared up to any basically level. We are basically prepared. So basically mostly the world will end basically through earthquakes or basically through sea water. And that sea water basically example we have already taken in the Mumbai city. So that is the most dangerous example of the entire video basically. Just now basically assume that you have watched around 500 400 video basically. In 400 video basically this video basically was the most dangerous video basically, you can say, because that is basically the entire city basically is going to disappear basically if you are not going to take care of that particular thing basically. So like this basically missile also basically group basically also connected. Like this basically the Mumbai city got the some very different experience basically. They basically thought that basically we never basically thought up to that level basically. Due to that log file basically we basically was saved basically. If we might not have kept that log file in the computer basically, then basically we might have destroyed lots of buildings here basically. Lots of building, same way basically in Delhi basically, in Uttar Pradesh also basically they are destroying lots of building. It might possible that they might be destroying the wrong building basically. They might be destroying the wrong building. That is also might be possible basically. They are literally destroying the buildings basically. So same way basically in Mumbai basically that is not supposed to happen. That's why basically we kept the log file basically, so that basically we can repair the perfect building, and basically if not getting repaired then basically we can destroy that building, so that basically the sea water is not supposed to get attract. If sea water will get attract, then basically enter Mumbai will go under sea water. So that basically Mumbai basically can't afford. Actually, India basically can't afford that basically. India basically land basically can't afford if Mumbai will go under sea water basically, because Mumbai is the heart of the India. So if Mumbai will get under sea water, that means you have to say that basically the India will be go under lots of basically depression basically we can say, and basically to come out from depression basically it might take lot of time basically, because to create Mumbai city basically it has taken around 90 lakh crore. Basically it can be dollar and can be rupees. So 90 lakh crore rupees or amount basically, that basically difficult to calculate. So this is not the small amount basically, it's a big amount basically. And if basically this will happen, then basically, so instead of that basically just create the hundreds computer basically, and that basically they have already the big software company they have already created, and then basically they have already started the data also basically collecting. Like this basically they told that basically yes, here basically we basically, if basically we might not have created this computer basically, then basically it might possible that basically entire Mumbai might have get in trouble. That's why basically the Mumbai basically never sleeps basically. Mumbai city basically creator basically know that basically anything basically can happen basically. So it might possible that basically if they keep this log file basically, then basically they can at least sleep basically in night basically. They can basically at least sleep in night basically. Like this basically he told that basically from this log file basically we basically tracked that basically that this whole object basically was getting attract towards sea water basically. Towards sea water means sea water was attracting. The buildings basically was not attracting. Then basically lots of people say that basically is the building was attracting or what, yeah. Then he told that basically no, yeah, building basically can't move na basically. Then how basically the building will attract? Then he told that basically, then also basically he thought that the building was attracting or sea water was attracting. Then also basically he told that basically building basically can't move here basically. Then how basically the building can attract the sea water here? Just think basically logically na basically. Building can move basically. Then he told that basically no basically. When the disaster happened basically, that time basically the buildings are moving or sea water is moving. That basically was the question basically which was asked, because in disaster basically nobody has taken the video of the disaster basically, what actually happens basically time of the disaster basically. The buildings basically get attracts to the moves, or basically the sea water basically gets attracts. That was actually the question basically he basically raised basically, and he told that basically video of the disaster basically we have basically. Let me check basically the question basically he asked basically, that is very dangerous question basically, because Earth planet is moving, that basically everybody knows, but here the Earth planet is moving, that's okay basically, but the buildings are basically not moving here basically. When the disaster happened basically, that condition is basically there basically. Then he told that basically let me check basically if any city basically has disaster got completely finished or not basically. Then basically checked the few country basically, few cities basically which was ended. Then basically was slowly basically that time basically also basically he can't track na basically. How basically he can track basically that also basically, because in video basically you can't see the exact picture basically. You can't see the exact picture basically. Then he told that basically that is also correct here basically. You are basically 100% correct. Then he told that basically, oh yeah basically that's very dangerous question basically you asked. The buildings are moving at the time of the disaster, or basically the sea water is basically creating the disaster. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this all topic only basically, that is the currency dependencies.